Good morning, afternoon, evening. This is the One Man Militia. First of all, before I do this unboxing, I'd like to send out a sincere apology. My earlier videos, they did have a grainy look on it. They had a lower quality look. And I'm not saying that this is the highest quality look, but I most recently found out how to set my computer to where I can get a better, like a 720 image. So I'd like to take a few seconds to um, send my sincere apologies, and hopefully my videos do come out with a better look to them, not so grainy. Now, on with the unboxing. Most recently, I have decided to streamline my firearm collection. I had a lot of duplicate firearms, I call them repeats, and I had a lot of nice to haves, and I have a lot of variances of the same gun and everything. And I do appreciate having like the TSW models. I do have a lot of third generation Smith and Wessons. That's what it's based off of. Um, I do have quite a few revolvers. I did narrow down my revolvers to the Performance Center models. Um, Also, I do have a lot of shotguns. I did get rid of quite a few shotguns. The Remington 8, they all are Remington 870s. But the ones I do own now, they have Magpul furniture and they are special variances. I still do have my Stoger double defense over under shotgun because I think that's a very nice novelty item. Um, it does have the break open action, which I do like as well. And I have a Charles Daly triple honcho. I think that's very unique. It's a break open action as well. Um, my only other shotgun I have that's not a Remington, it is obviously a Smith and Wesson. It is a M&P 12, and I kept it because I loved that bullpup, 12 gauge caliber in a short package. Um, but yet it does have you know, the barrel length that makes it not a firearm. Um, I did decide to also keep my Smith and Wesson M&P 15, the Sport 2 rifle, which I did build over the Christmas holiday, and I still have my M&P 10. Can't get rid of the 308 Winchester round or the 7.62 by 51, however you want to call it. Now, with the unboxing, I did take a couple of 44 Magnums, 629s that was Smith& Wesson, not Performance Centers. And I took my other Smith& Wesson 500 4-inch barrel with the compensator, and I decided to trade it in on at my favorite little gun store on a Smith& Wesson 500 Performance Center model. And basically, um, this particular model, it is an upgrade from my Smith and Wesson 4-inch barrel. Basically, I found a consignment Smith and Wesson 5. I found it on consignment, the Performance Center model. They wanted about $1,000 less than what a new one would cost, so I had to jump on that deal. They did advertise it come in a box and a pouch, and I was thinking, well, maybe and it sounds good to be true, and it is true. And I was wondering how did they do that, and I just found out that basically it came in this big box, and it probably was a brand new firearm. The owner did keep it in meticulous condition, and so when I open up the box, we have paperwork. We have the little generic Smith and Wesson revolver um, instructions. And basically, and I just noticed on the back that this instruction pamphlet covers these several models. It covers the Airlight, Airweight, Bodyguard, Carry Comp, Chief Special, Governor, Ladysmith, Magnum, Mountain Gun, the Performance Center, which is what this is, and then S&W, and then Smith and Wesson. So it covers all of those models, which is it seems like everything that Smith and Wesson makes that's a revolver. And then we have a protect your investment. Congratulations. This is our registration. The previous owner didn't complete the registration, but I can complete it in my name, get some protection from the company. Um, Also, we have the NRA. Smith and Wesson encourage you to join the National Rifle Association. They encourage it. I encourage it as well, um, because they do fight for our Second Amendment right. And then we have a California firearms warning. Basically, it's written that it says that about storing it safely, prevent access for children, um, which is very important. You got to get stuff locked up, prevent theft as well. Okay, once we get past this white box here, this is the pouch. And as you can see, since it's a performance center, it's a special variant. Comes in its own pouch. And as we other than the firearm itself, we have a set of safety keys to lock your revolver. So it kind of reinforces what that last piece of paper said about keeping it safe. Um, we do have this wax paper that comes in all Smith and Wessons and maybe other firearm containers as well, just wax paper. And then to start a video here, Smith and Wesson 500 itself. Like I say, this is the Performance Center. Has rubber hand grip. Does have the sight there. Has the adjustable sight on the back. Swing it open so you can look down the cylinders and see that it is a safety check and empty firearm. What made me get this model is that when I looked in my collection overall, I noticed that I had a Smith& Wesson 460, which I had bought previously. Swing the cylinder open so you can check that the firearm is empty as well. Safety check. When I looked at it, I noticed that this was a performance center. It's got the similar hand grip except that it's gray, rubber, adjustable back sight, and it's got the front sight as well. Um, After looking at it and seeing that it was a performance center, and I was just happy to have a Smith and Wesson before, I was putting in the back of my mind that hey, one day I'll get a matching performance center Smith and Wesson 500, which I finally did get one. I just used my 4-inch barrel one to trade in as well. But back to these, this particular model came out in 2003. Smith& Wesson did market it as the most powerful revolver. Um, there are more powerful revolvers out there. I think Magnum Research has one, but this is not shabby at all. This is definitely within the top 3 or 4 for sure. Basically, it is built on an X frame. Smith& Wesson like to designate an alphabet in the word frame. They have the J frame, which is for like the 38 specials, and they're more concealable, or they're most concealable models. They shoot the 5 rounds, smaller cylinder as well. They have the L frame, which I have the 686. The I have 3 of those. Those are 7-shot cylinders, and I love those because they have one more than just your 6 rounds. Then it also has the 627, which is basically like a 686, except it shoots 8 shots instead of 7, which I love that as well. made by Performance Center. And then they do have an end frame, which is a 629. And like I said, I did trade in a 629 for the Smith& and Wesson 500, but they were just the regular Smith& and Wesson. This one, this particular model I do have, I have a 629 Performance Center, which has the rubber hole hand grip as well. And I will keep that one. That is a dream to shoot. The other two, they were just nice, pretty show pieces. They had a beautiful wooden hand grip, but they hurt like hell when you try to shoot them. Um, but basically, like I say, this is built on the next frame. It does fire a round that ranges between 275 grains to 700 grains. Has a muzzle energy over 3,030 feet pounds of force. The particular model I have, this is a 325 grain um, bullet here. One day I do hope to get 700 grains just to have it in the collection. But for now, 325 is okay for me. Um, if I find it, I'll shoot it, see what it's like, and just have it in the collection just to say I have it or whatever. Um, the barrels on these particular firearms are rifled. They do range from 2.75 inches to 10 and a half inches. The 2.75 inch is a snub nose survival Smith& and Wesson model, which is really meant to go into the first aid kit on the little prop planes that fly over the forest, like in the northern, Canada area, Alaska. So basically, when the plane went down after you survived the impact and stuff, you're supposed to get the firearm out. No, you're supposed to get the first aid kit, get the firearm out, and use it to defend yourself against the bears. But those particular models, they run about 2,500 to $3,000. You'll know them when you see them because the barrel is very short. There's a snub nose and it has a blaze orange handle on it. And like I say, it runs about 2,500. I did see a survival version for the 460, 2.75 inch barrel, but it had a bright yellow handle on it. And I think that one was closer to $3,000 or so. Those are very hard to find. Um, the Smith& and Wesson version was discontinued in 2009 as far as that survival one. They still do have the other variances as well. This particular model is a 3.5 inch barrel performance center. Um, the other model that I traded in for this one, it was a 4 inch barrel and it had a compensator on it. Compensator made up about half an inch of the 4 inch barrel as well. So basically like a 3.5 inch barrel with a compensator on it. And then basically these firearms are used for game hunting. And I guess if you just want to add them in your collection, um, they are used to get game in a range in excess of 200 yards, which is about 600 feet, which is pretty far to take an animal out with this as well. Um, a lot of times, people, when they shoot these things, they like to shoot them at dusk and dawn because there is a notable ring of fire that comes out of the barrel, and it kind of comes around. It comes out the front of the gun. Um, the camera catches it perfectly. Um, if you catch it at the right angle, the right lighting and everything, you can catch it at regular speed. But if you ever film yourself shooting it and then you slow down the action on the camera, you can really notice it. But basically, these 500s, as far as weight, the smaller version or the snub nose version weighs about 56 ounces or 3.5 pounds. The longer barrel, 10.5 inch, it weighs about 79 ounces or 4.9 pounds. They are definitely not meant to conceal carry, for the heck of it. Now the snub nose version, you can't get away with it because if you're out in Alaska somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you got to defend yourself against bears, you pretty much got what you got. It is what it is. But in regular situations, when you have better options, please use better options. But overall, this is a great gun to have. I do plan on shooting this at some point. It may not get a whole lot of range time, but it's going to get enough of it, and I do enjoy it as well. Um, like I say, like I always say, thank you for your views. Please like and subscribe. Um, thank you for your subscriptions as well. I appreciate it all. You all have a very blessed day, evening.